Hello everyone and welcome to Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. My name is Sarah. Today's video is how to make a keyhole tassel, super quick and easy. We are making these 7 beautiful and simple keyhole tassels that you can use for beaded garland, curtain tiebacks, keychains, and more. They are quick and easy DIYs that you're gonna love so much, so stick around. And let's go make some stuff and jump right into this. Just a quick note, please forgive my voice in this video. I just got over the flu, but I really wanted to get a video out to you guys, so if I sound like a frog, I'm sorry. In today's DIY video, we are making 7 different super quick and easy keyhole tassels using Dollar Tree jute, Dollar Tree yarn, some macrame cord, butcher twine, and embroidery floss. I'll link all the different twines and ropes in the description box below. These are all super simple, quick and easy DIYs, but so cute. They can be used for so many different decor ideas. For the first DIY keyhole tassel, we'll be using this macrame cord I got on Amazon, and I'll link it below. I'm wrapping the cord around the short side of this standard clipboard until I have a nice hardy bunch. It's not exact, but I'm going to estimate it's wrapped around about 20 full times. You can adjust this to your taste. Then I'm sliding the cord off the clipboard and I'm cutting it open so that I have one long bunch of cord. I'm folding it in half to find the middle, and then I'm going to lay it down on the table so that I can figure out where I want to start my wrapping to form the middle keyhole part. Now, I used some chalk to give me a rough idea. I could mark it down of where I wanted to start and where I wanted to stop wrapping the cord around my bunch. Then I stretch out the bunch straight and cut a very long piece of cord that's around 3 or 4 lengths of the full tassel long. I take that piece at the end and fold it over to form a loop at the top, and I line that loop up about a ½ inch above where I want my wrapped cord to end. And then I begin winding the cord around the bunch, starting where I put my first chalk mark. It sounds complicated. It's not. Just watch what I'm doing. You're going to want to wind it really tightly and really neatly, making sure not to overlap any of the wraps. You're going to do this right up until you reach the top of your ending chalk mark. So you go from the beginning chalk mark, wind it up until the ending chalk mark. Then I'm taking that loop that I made when I began wrapping, and I take the remaining wrapping cord and I pull that through that loop. I then find the bottom of that loop at the beginning of where we started wrapping, and I pull it, and I'm going to pull that until the loop at the top disappears under our wrapping and it takes the extra cording down with it, at which point we're going to just trim that excess piece of cord off and push the remaining bit of it down under into under our wrapping so that we can hide it. Then we fold it in half and decide where we're going to wrap the 2 sides together. And we're going to use the exact same loop and the pull method as when we wrapped the middle of our tassel. We're going to form a loop at the bottom, and then we're going to wind the cord around the 2 sides to bind them together. And we're trying to keep it tightly and neatly wound. Now, I actually restarted this winding 3 separate times until I felt that it was that I was winding it correctly. But the 3rd time was the charm, which is what you're seeing here. And I think it really helps to do this part fairly slowly and deliberately so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. At the end, I trimmed my excess cord and pulled the end through the loop like we did before. And then take the cord at the bottom of our winding and pull it until both the loop and the excess cord disappear under the wound up cord, and then trim that piece and tuck it in so it's out of sight. It's exactly the same as what we did before when we wrapped the middle of our tassel, we're just wrapping both sides together to form that loop that makes the keyhole. At this point, it's just a matter of trimming the bottom of your tassel to the desired length and then evening it out. If you choose to fluff out the fringe at the bottom like I did with this first tassel, you'll need to unravel each of the pieces of cord, and then you can use a comb, or I like to use a dog brush to really fluff it out. And this is how Keyhole Tassel number 1 turned out. I did attach some wood beads from Amazon, I'll link them below, that I stained previously, and this tassel is ready for action. Keyhole Tassel number 2 is actually exactly the same as tassel number 1, but for this macrame cord tassel, I decided not to unravel and fluff out the fringe. I kept it totally intact, and I think that it really makes the tassel more sophisticated and just kind of overall higher end looking, in my opinion. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments what your personal preference is in tassels. Are you a fluffy fringe person or a neat and tidy intact cord person? No judgments, just curious. For Keyhole Tassel number 3, we are using a cotton kitchen twine that you can get at the supermarket. It's a little thinner than the macrame cord, but still has that nice cottony feel to it. We are also using embroidery floss to bring some color to our tassels. I'm using the colors of embroidery floss that I had already in my stash, but I will link to some embroidery floss packs in the description box below. You can buy colors individually or in sets, and in general, they are pretty inexpensive. They come in an endless array of colors. The colors that I chose for tassel number 3 were pink and fuchsia. We are going to wrap tassel number 3 the same as the first 2, except that we're using another color string to wrap with. So I decided to use the lighter color as the wrap for the middle part of the tassel, and I would use the fuchsia to join the two sides together. So I began wrapping the pink around the middle of the twine bunch, having already decided where the wrapping would start and where it would end. We are still using the loop and pull method to wrap the pink string. I made a loop reaching just over the end of the wrapping space and began wrapping from the other side up until I reach that loop. At that point, I trim the excess pink string and pull the end through the loop and pull the pink string at the beginning of my wrapping until both the loop and the string end are pulled into and under the pink wrapping and they're hidden away. I use the fuchsia string to join the two sides together using that same loop and pull method that we've been using to do all of our wrapping. It's the same thing. When the wrapping is completed, I trim the bottom of the tassel to even it out, and I attach some natural wood color beads using an extra large embroidery needle that I attached to the pink embroidery floss, and I attached the pink embroidery floss to the middle top of our tassel ring so that you couldn't see the floss because it's the same color as our ring. And this is how tassel number 3 turned out. I think this is so colorful and cute. This would make a fun keychain for a little girl, or even a decorative accessory or tie back for a girl's room. I loved how this keyhole tassel turned out, and it was so quick and so easy. Keyhole tassel number 4 is also colorful, using 3 different shades of blue embroidery floss along with the cotton butcher's twine as our tassel base again. Since I'm using 2 colors in the middle for this tassel, I used some painter's tape to mark off where each color would start and then where it would end. I started with my darkest royal blue in the very middle with a little lighter shade on either side of that. And I'm also going to use the loop and pull method on each shade of blue that we're wrapping. I'm using a light blue color to join the 2 sides together, and the 3 colors complement each other really nicely. We're wrapping the 2 tassel sides together exactly as we have for the first 3 tassels that we did before this. I gave this tassel a little haircut to even it out on the bottom, and then I used my large embroidery needle to attach some of those natural wood color beads to the top of my tassel. And this is how tassel number 4 turned out. It's adorable, just like the pink one, and I think it could be used decoratively in so many different ways. It's just another easy, cute project. Keyhole tassel number 5 is colorful in all fall colors. This time I used embroidery floss as the body of the tassel, as well as to wrap around the tassel. I used this dark kind of maroony embroidery floss. It's like a maroon burgundy type color. It's very deep, and marked the position for the middle to begin and then to end with some painter's tape. I used this mustardy orange kind of color that just screamed fall to me, and I wrapped that around the middle of my embroidery floss bundle. And I'm still using the loop and the pull method to wrap the string around and then pull it through into itself at the very end. After the middle color was wrapped, I used this deep bright gold yellow to wrap the two sides of the tassel together in the middle. I trimmed the bottom of the tassel and tied a piece of embroidery floss in that orange color to the top of the tassel so that I could add some beads. It is a smaller tassel because the body is made of embroidery floss, so I used these small wood beads that I got at Dollar Tree, and I beaded them on with a large embroidery needle. And this is how tassel number 5 turned out. This tassel is such a rich color, and I wish that the camera could do it justice. It's so fall colored, like fall leaves or something. I would love this keyhole tassel in my fall decor. It's perfect for anyone that loves those warm, rich colors. Tassel number 6 is a super quick DIY, and admittedly not my favorite tassel, but definitely the easiest. Using the Dollar Tree yarn in a tweed color, I made this off camera, but using all the same methods as the other keyhole tassels. I wrapped the middle with the same yarn, attached the two sides together with the same yarn, using the loop and pull method for all wrapped areas. I did add some wood beads to accessorize it at the end. And this is how keyhole tassel number 6 turned out. It's not spectacular, but if you have extra Dollar Tree yarn lying around, this is a fun and useful quick craft to do with it. Keyhole tassel number 7 is made out of jute twine from Dollar Tree. I wrapped the jute around my clipboard about 18 to 20 times, slid it off, and cut the loop into a bundle of long pieces. I used one very long piece to wrap around the middle of my bundle, using the loop and pull method of making a loop, with the top just covering the end of where I was wrapping, and started wrapping the middle. When I got to the end, I trimmed the leftover wrapping twine and tucked it into the loop. Then I pulled the twine from the other end of the loop until both the loop and the end piece were tucked in and under my wrapped middle. Then I wrapped another piece of jute to attach both of the sides together and made the same loop and pull on that wrapped middle too. After all was wrapped, I trimmed my bottom fringe, and I did try to comb it, and then I tried to use my dog brush, but be warned, these things do not work well on that Dollar Tree jute. So in the end, the fringy bottom had to be unraveled piece by piece and fluffed out with my fingers, and I also attached a couple of large wood beads to the top of this tassel. And this is how tassel number 7 turned out. Who doesn't love a nice jute tassel? These can be used for so many things. They're a little bit rustic, a little bit farmhouse, even a little bit boho. Just another super easy and useful DIY. I think tassels are so versatile in home decor. They can be used so many different ways. My favorite use of tassels is as curtain tiebacks. Let me know in the comments how you use tassels. I hope you enjoyed all 7 of these quick and easy DIY keyhole tassels, and let me know in the comments which one of the tassels was your favorite. Thank you for watching this Medicated Housewife DIY video, and if you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Until next time, I'm the Medicated Housewife, and crafting is my medication.